Hello and welcome back to another episode of LineWriter Tutorials. So we've covered quite a few Kramual techniques at this point, so now I'm going to cover Kramual flips. Now this is different from a Kramual roll because you hopefully flip Bosch in one frame, as hopefully I have done here. There we go. Sure he lives. Now this presupposes that you've already watched obviously the other Kramual tutorial videos, as well as Kevin Seven's singularity tutorial, and possibly also the advanced singularity tutorial that I have on this channel. So if you haven't watched those, go ahead and watch them, because otherwise this won't make too much sense to you. So I mean, essentially, this is a two-line singularity because, you know, we already have all of Bosch's points compressed in a flat line, so we don't need to compress them anymore, as we've already compressed them with these Kramual lines. So if all you have to do is get him into a singularity position, which, you know, can be tricky. I've managed to get one here. I mean, I can just briefly get it again. The only technique I used I found that worked was putting one line roughly there, one line roughly there, and just kind of moving them until I got just in the right spot. There you go. If you want more in-depth information on how to do that, go check out the previous tutorials as I mentioned before. So once you have your singularity, go to the physics iteration 1 in the next frame, get yourself an X line, and there we go, back in the Kramual position. Although it looks like I'm going to have to do something to save this one. Okay, and we're back. So I fixed this in the end. What I did to fix this was I have here, let me just change the settings so you can see that a little bit more easily. I have a group of 3 red lines here. I split them into 3, but they're all attached in the same place. So I assumed before what was, let me just put this backwards so that he dies again. The problem was one of these contact points was moving in that direction too much, so what I did was I just basically grabbed it and multi-lined it back. This sort of thing is now much more easy to fix. Before the 1.04 update, that may have been a lot more traumatic to fix if it was even fixable. Now I can literally just multi-line it back into place, and there we go, he lives. So you have your Kramual, and it changes direction. Awesome. And yeah, I'll just show that multi-lining one more time. So how this works is, before with the, if I just set that back to nothing. So this was basically what was happening before. He was yellow, he would survive the first physics iteration 0, but then he would be all yellow here and I could do nothing to help that situation. So in this previous frame, I just reach back, and to visualize this you can turn on onion skinning if you like. Shortcut for that being Control O. Just grab this multiplier here and just zip that bad boy back until he lives. And you can see there's various different things going on here. I mean, I just left him surviving like that, just for the lols. I mean, I don't think you can see that anyway, yeah, because it's in physics iteration 1. So, I just briefly wanted to point out that although, you know, these two here were relatively uneventful to make survive, sometimes the singularity can be complicated to get. So in this case, I had an issue where, just reset that to nothing, where no matter what I did, I could not get this to come forwards. So a simple solution I found was simply to grab these troublesome contact points in the previous frame while still being in the Kramual state. See there, both of them are kind of grabbed. And then all I had to do was just multi-line this, and I was lucky to get it because the limit is 255, and there you go, snapped into position. So yeah, there you go. That is the Kramual flip.